Hey guys, it's Jan, also known as Zen Bluster, and today we're going to take a look at building the FMA basic setup, basically. This is going to be meant for tuned class racing, and what tuned class racing is basically going to be about, it's for a lot of beginners, people that are looking to get into the hobby without having to look to getting too many tools, because a lot of this hobby is about getting too many tools. And as you can see, I do have quite a few tools that you won't normally see, but you don't have to follow all of the steps that I do. But all in all, the hobby is meant for minimizing cutting, and most of the setup that I'm going to show you, you don't really need to cut anything. Other than maybe drill the wheels for having 72mm shafts for pierced wheels. So anyway, it's the setup is designed to minimize difficulty and to just ease you into the hobby. So all right, so the first part we're gonna go through, we're built around the Gunbluster XTO Premium. If you've been watching my videos long enough, you will know that this is my favorite car, and I'm fairly happy that they finally released it. And I already have an unboxing over there. You could probably watch it on the upper right corner. I will link you there. And the biggest reason why I like it is the look of the car, and I don't like any other designs that they have right now for the FMA chassis. That's basically it, and I'm looking forward to actually working with these pretty cool looking red wheels that they have, and nice blue what do you call it, A parts right here. So that's the basics that I need, and it already comes with the 3.5 to 1 gear ratio. That's what we're gonna use. That'll help us stay competitive in terms of racing. And this is part number 19541. 19451. Please focus camera. 19451. There you go, guys. All right. Now refocus over here. All right. Some of the other pieces that we're gonna go through. Let me see. Let's go through the tires first. Instead of the regular tires that come with the kit, we're gonna be using these super hard tires. Item number 95323. That's going to be the tires that we're gonna use for the setup. The front underguard is going to be item number 15405. I couldn't find any matching colors, so this is going to be a gray one, and this is silver. And the brake set that we're going to use is item number 15458. Excuse me. Let me set those aside again. Next pieces that we're going to use, we're going to go through the stabilizers and the rollers. Roller sets. Okay. So, the roller set that we're going to use, item number 15418. This was carried over from the last build that we did. You're only going to need one. And on the last AR build video that I did, I only used one. So I kept the other one. We're going to use the other one for this build. That's going to go on the right front. And the other piece is item number 95301, the lightweight dish 13mm aluminum ball brace rollers. That's going to be on the front left side. The rear rollers are going to be a pair of the two sets of 15251 19mm plastic ring rollers, and these are going to be the screws that we're going to use to mount them, both for the front and the back. Item number 15454, two of them. In addition to that, the stabilizers that we're going to use, item number 15399, the MS chassis brake set. These pieces right here, we really only need one. We're going to need that. We're going to use that for the right front. And this is going to be for the left front. Item number 15391. This is the black stabilizer headset. And that's what going to be used for upper left corner, front left corner. And then for the transmission, we're going to use some AO 1011 620s, item number 94389. You're going to need 2 sets, actually 3 total, because you're going to need 5. I have a 5th one right here already soaking, and I will show you guys how to remove the brass rings that are on the rollers, on the bearings right here. It'll make them smoother later on. And continuing with the transmission, we're going to get some 72mm hollow stainless steel shafts, item number 15297. I bought 2 packs just in case one of them is bent, so always buy extras of these whenever you're building a new setup. Fluorine coated gear shaft, ribbed, item number 15400, and that's this is what do you call it? Compatible with FMA, even though it doesn't actually say it because it's an old package. We're gonna use that for the counter gear, and this is the hollow propeller shaft for Super X, and that's the same shaft that we use for FMA, and it still doesn't say that too because it's an old package. All right, continuing with that, actually we're gonna go on the spacers first. And this is a mixed bag. We're gonna need some spacers for the wheels, so we need to buy some extra ones. The spacers are going to be item number 94768, and it comes in a 20 pack. I still have some, so I'm gonna keep using what I have, not having to buy extra. I actually still have more in my case, but I don't need to bring that out. Next is the spacers. We're going to splurge a little bit on some of the other parts. So this setup is going to be slightly more expensive than normal, but you don't have to buy the same parts that I do. This is the aluminum spacer set, blue, anodized, 95310. 2 sets, basically. You're going to need some extras because of the 1.5mm spacers are fairly useful. And we're using aluminum lock nuts just to lighten up the car a little bit because we're going to be using the ABS body. We're going to try and minimize weight on other parts. And then some screws, item number 15508. A screw set of 15, 20, 25, and 30 millimeters. That's fairly standard in terms of what pack that you need to get. For the side dampers and for the dampers at the back, we're going to be using item number 15459, side mass damper set for AR. It's also compatible with FMA. And then the mass damper set ball connectors, 15478. This is going to go on the back. And then we're going to splurge a little bit on the carbon. First things first, we're going to be using 2 pieces of HD carbon 95104. This is an old piece that I have lying around. It's still in fairly good shape. I used it for my high-speed car for a little bit, so I'm just going to reuse this one. This is going to go for the underguard, underneath the underguard I mean, and then this is going to be used for the bumper, where the rollers are going to be mounted. And this is where the rear mount, basically, for the rollers, item number 95257. I'm going to keep using it because it's still one of the better pieces for widening the position of the rollers at the back to match the 13mm rollers at the front. And then this is going to be like a multi-use part, item number 95105. This is going to double as a rear underguard for the rollers and also like a brake mount. I want to see if I could try and extend the brakes a little bit in the back, and those are all the pieces that we need. And there you have it, guys. We're gonna go ahead and start with the build. Alright guys, so we're gonna start with the car kit itself. I've already taken out the just the regular rubber tires. We don't need these rubber tires anymore. We're gonna be using the super hard tires. And this should be a fairly standard build, nothing too crazy in terms of the what do you call it, the stuff that we need. So I'll set that aside. We don't need this piece. We're gonna need these wheels at some point, these gears, and the A parts. I like to build the body last because that's, you know, that's just appropriate. So we're gonna go ahead and go fast forward. All right, before we continue, I'm gonna go soak these AO 1011 620s. And sorry if there's noise in the background, but that's my air conditioning because it's really hot in Southern California. All right, so not just the bearings, we're also gonna soak the rollers in as well. So we're gonna put the 13 millimeter dish and the 19 millimeter rollers in there, as well as the bearings for item number 15418. Okay, so we are first going to adjust the hollow propeller shaft. We're gonna put it in, we're gonna go see where it sits, and we're gonna either tighten or loosen it to be able to fit to the chassis on how tight or how loose it's going to be on the propeller shaft track. Alright, so as you guys can see, the gear is a little bit loose. What we're gonna do is we're gonna hammer the gears in a little bit closer to each other so that the propeller shaft is sitting just, you know, a little bit more snugly. And we're gonna use the 324 object propeller shaft puller. So now we've tightened up the propeller shaft a little bit. It's now not too tight and not too loose. We're gonna go and oil the contact points where the gears are going to be hitting. I'm gonna use some Tamiya VG oil. It's up to you what you use. It honestly doesn't matter as long as you don't over oil the position of the gears. You could also use grease as well. Grease is fine as long as, like I said, you don't over grease your parts. Alright, now what we're gonna do is look for some straight shafts from the hollow 72 millimeter shafts. We're gonna open one up to see if both of them are sharp. If one of them isn't, we're gonna go open the other pack. So hopefully we find some good ones. I also have some spares in here as well. So 1.99. We're gonna look for some we're gonna use a 1.99 gauge, basically from the Enomoto gauge. Okay, found two that I'm willing to work with now. We're going to now go ahead and drill out the hubs of the new wheel set, basically. So in order for you to do that, you're gonna need the 2.1 millimeter drill bit. So, and the Dremel, or you could just use like a hand drill. But this is one of the things you're gonna need, 2.1 millimeter. It's gonna be hard to tell, and we're gonna use my Proxon tool. Hold on, we're gonna plug it in. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and use my Proxon tool. It has a 2.1 millimeter drill bit. Make sure it's fairly straight. Okay. So let me just make sure that that is secure before I continue working. If I recall correctly, it's 22 something. Okay, so we're gonna use 20.6 gauge again for the wheels, and that's what we're gonna use to pierce the wheels. So once again, put it on the fixture right there, pull the pin. It depends on the offset of the wheel that you are working on. This one I think is a fairly wide offset, so tighten the fixture, loosen it again. For the pin is there to help center the wheel, but this one is fairly tight, so I'm fairly certain this is being held in the center by the by the fixture itself. All right. Remember, you don't need to go very long when you're drilling in. That's it. And that is a pierced wheel right there. Okay, so we're going to continue that with the other 3 wheels. All right, now that we've finished working on the 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 pierced wheels, we're gonna go ahead and install the shaft. Let me put the rest of my gears away. All right. So we're gonna install the shaft very slowly. We're gonna follow the hex, right? The shape of the hex, and then we're going to push it in slowly using the Arrow Max. But before we do that, we have to cut out the super hard tires from the sprue. The tire sprue. Alright, now we're gonna use the Arrow Max wheel installer to push the the shaft into the wheel hub. Alright, so this one is pierced. Gonna go double check the wheel. We're gonna take out the AO 1011 620 bearings that we've been working on from earlier. We're gonna go mount them onto the chassis before we put the gears in. Jeez, almost tightened that up too much. All right, so we've installed the what do you call it, unsealed AO620s now, as you can see right here, right there. And we're gonna need some spacers, so we'll use the spacers, the extra spacers that I told you guys to get, the 20-piece spacer set. We're gonna need about 4 of them. We're gonna put them on the wheel hub right here, like that, with the bevel towards your side, so you can see, and then the edge towards the chassis. So this is the wider offset. We're gonna put it on the rear. And we're gonna mount the gear, the orange gear first. Don't want to forget that. Okay, put the spacer on that side. We're gonna go look for the wide offset. That's the one. We're gonna mount that on the other side. I'm gonna marry the shaft with the hex position. There you go. And we're gonna go back to the Aeromax. We're gonna push from this, what do you call it, from this side of the shaft into the wheel on the other side. Looks like the shaft is protruding a little bit more than the other side, so we're gonna adjust it with the wheel puller. We're gonna pull the shaft out a little bit. I mean, not pull the shaft out, but we're gonna push the shaft out towards the other side, and then we're gonna push it in with the Aeromax once again. So we're just gonna do a little bit of adjusting and a little bit more adjusting, so we'll get this squared away. I'm gonna put some oil here for the grease, for the gears in the rear. Now that we have the rear, we're gonna close the gear cover for now so that the switch doesn't slide out and pop out of place. Alright, so we're not gonna do much modification on the gears for now, for FMA, because honestly I'm not super great with FMA transmission yet. It's a little bit of a mystery so far, so for now I'm just gonna go concentrate on building the rest of the car. But if I do find something right now while I'm working on it that can be improved, I might make some transmission changes. Let's see if that's possible, even without cutting any of the parts on this car. We're going to put the other wheel in now, and then we're going to adjust to see the positioning of where the shaft is going to be. So align the hex holes again. Alright, now the wheels are in. It looks like the this side of the shaft is not protruding as wide as this one, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna adjust the length. I'm gonna go halfway down the shaft and then push it in. See where we could go from there. Alright, next we've already put the shafts in. It looks satisfactory. Nothing perfect. There's really not much you could do on the gears on the FMA. It's already fairly tight the way that it's positioned. It just needs to be broken in, I think. Alright, so we're gonna go work on the counter gear. and you need the fluorine coated gear shaft for that. So let me see, remove that, but we're only going to need one, and then we're going to check to see if we need to tighten the counter gear where we're going to put the 3.5 to 1 counter gear. So we need that. First I'm gonna go check the shaft. That's fairly good. I'm gonna get the gear, the AO620, and we're gonna put it inside of the counter gear right here. Okay, so one of the AO620s that we were working on earlier was slowed. It seemed to have like some sort of defect, so I took that out. Basically, you just need to dispose of that. I don't think there's a way to fix gears like that. Now we're gonna go drop some oil on the shaft, the fluorine coating gear shaft. Now we're gonna go check to see where the bearing sits, to see if we have room for the gear. Okay, so for now it looks like the gear can slide back and forth a little bit. So if I recall correctly, you can actually fit a spacer over here. So we're gonna go get a spacer, a roller spacer, mount that over here on this side, you see. And then now we're gonna go check to see if that positions it just nicely. There you go. Alright, so remember you put the spacer right there. Here, let me take it out again so you guys could see. So that's the roller spacer right there. Then the AO620 is behind it, the gear, and then the fluorine coated gear shaft. And then it fits snugly in there, not too tight but not too loose. Time to grease up the counter and the spur gear. Alright, so we're gonna slap the motor in. I actually forgot to mention to you guys that you should probably go get a torque tuned motor. I just generally recommend a torque tuned 2 motor to put into the tuned category setups. Okay, I'm going to grease the pinion before I put it in. Oh, the transmission is better than I thought. We're gonna go ahead and take out the FMA motor support and then mount it to see if it sounds a little bit better after that. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes this actually makes it worse. So you have to check your car whether or not this piece actually makes it worse. So we're gonna go, I just inserted it earlier and it looks like it was making the gears too tight. Yep, that's too tight, so definitely not. And then as opposed to without it, you could see Okay. All right. So next part, we're gonna go build the front bumper.